Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about business. So I've been in business for like well over 10 years, running Web Converger. And the big problem I find with running a business is all the bureaucracy to do with it. It namely comes down to invoicing customers and marking them off as paid, and then collecting all that data for a tax return. And it stressed me out a lot. I mean, more than 10 years ago, I was even stupidly VAT registered, and that was just another layer of bureaucracy. I mean, in the UK, you can file the tax returns online, which was good, but it was still kind of difficult. I ended up using some. I think I initially started writing my own software to do everything, and then I ended up using a product called Hiveage. I don't know when, around a few years ago. And unfortunately, once I actually blogged about all the problems I had with it, because I had some experience because I wrote my own one. They asked me to leave the service, which was crazy because when you exported the stuff, it didn't actually have everything you needed. But I ended up writing my own one again. And I was actually quite proud. Like, for example, I was just showing you what an invoice looks like. And I have some JavaScript that basically binds the keyboard E to create like a mail, which invokes a mail to link and then generates the email, so I can email people and I can mark it as paid, and it's quite optimized. But I now in the year 2018, I'm trying to move everything to Xero. And I wish I knew about these templates that they had, because the templates are actually quite good to organize my data structures. Because when I wrote my invoice system, I was just making up as I was going. Xero costs $40 a month, and it does much of what my system can do. But the main thing it can do is that it's got API access to my bank. So the big problem I've had was sort of reconciling what actually came into the bank, because some customers don't want to use PayPal, they just want to transfer money in there, and then so basically I have to look through the statements and say, oh, this customer paid me, mark that one as paid, and all that stuff just took a crazy amount of time, and Xero promises to make this quicker. Unfortunately, the devil's in the details. I did blog about this. Unfortunately, I wish I could get DBS API, but Xero seems to have the exclusivity on that. The big problem is that the DBS this is so crazy that sometimes the bank fee is wrong. So basically, when I log into DBS sort of SME banking thing, the balances are not the same. Another thing that the API is missing for this bank is that the API doesn't expose the running balance. So Xero just sees the transactions, and then so basically it has to. Anyway, it doesn't tally up sometimes, so it's just so painful. So in 2018, it weighs heavy on me, all this bureaucracy. Even in Singapore, which I dare say is probably better than UK. They are moving to do everything online, or they have been doing everything online. But the system is still so complex. It's for me to actually, I still need to pay $2,000 at least a year to my accountant to do all this stuff. And I asked my accountant, how does she cope with this bank feed problem, with the CSVs and exports being so painful from the banks. She basically the way that she works is that I send my accountant, I just put it on the paper billing thing to send the paper transactions to the accountant, and then she has a system where she does data entry, basically taking those transactions and putting them into her app, and then she basically processes my accounts that way. Anyway, it's still very inefficient the way I mean, I just hate it because I'm spending so much time on this when I should be programming and when I should be creating value for my customers. But there's just so many inconsistencies with the different interfaces. Yeah, I didn't even go so far to mention Stripe, because now that I'm moving mostly to Stripe subscriptions and my invoice system and Xero's invoice, you don't see the customer, you don't see the payments very well. Everything gets lumped into a ball, and yeah, the whole thing's just a mess. Oh my gosh, it's just a mess. So yeah, today you still need to bloody employ somebody to do all this stuff almost, and I'm stupidly taking it upon myself to do it, for the most part. Yeah, the troubles of running a business. This is actually a very big negative because, yeah, the last few days of my free time, I've just been catching up with stuff that I've put off for months and months and months since I've been in full-time employment. Anyway, I hopefully will have this 2017 return done and dusted, which is due in April. And I'm hopefully still going to try use Xero, even though they charge $40 a month. And the bank feed is just scary, and the Stripe integration is questionable, and my existing invoice system is actually kind of better. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. I'm hoping that this afternoon I can actually start coding and finish off a SaaS product. Please. All right, thanks guys for watching. Bye now. Please like the video and subscribe.